upload to YouTube so that if you are interested in reviewing the context of the lecture, you may just go there. And I will post you the link, hopefully by the end of today. So let's talk about English writing for international affairs, quiz 11. And today we move on to Toulmin model. And this is a way for us to argue. And I try to use the quiz 11 for you to orient yourself with the basic concept of Toulmin model. So let's move down to the first one. So how many video we have for this one? And as you can see from here, we have 4 videos for you to review. But basically, this is just for checkout for how much you know. And who is Stephen Toulmin? And when we say that is a Toulmin model, because it was invented by Toulmin, and he is a British philosopher of argumentation. So basically, when we argue, when we talk to the other person, when we try to raise a point, or try to deliver a message to another people, or we try to persuade, or we try to give a point. Normally, we are presenting our arguments. So what is argument about? So basically, let's move down to this one. So this is Toulmin model. As you can see from here, this is Toulmin model as we say. When we say we are arguing and every day in our daily life, most likely we will have a claim. We like to argue and we like to raise a point. So I make it a little bit smaller so we can include all the major context here. So let's see. This is the flow chart for a Toulmin model. So what does the chart tells us? What does the chart tell us? Basically, normally when we talk to other people, we will start with our claim. Of course, what is claim? Claim is something you would like to prove, or you want to say something about, or something you want to make sure, you want to make a claim. So basically, this is your opinion. So you can see what is a claim. Claim is assertion you hope to prove. But when you say you want to prove this claim, you must have some evidences or support or rationale for the claim. So we start, of course, we start with a claim first, and then we will follow with our grounds. Grounds, basically, it is the supporting evidence. So as you can see from here, what is the meaning? What is the meaning for a grounds? Grounds is the evidence, support, or rationale for a claim. So basically, we say this because of this ground. So we have a certain claim. It is not just coming out from our imagination, because we can have some solid evidence. But there is a considerations. Sometimes the reasons for the grounds to support the claim may not be that obvious or clear. So basically, over here, you need to provide a warrant. A warrant is to support the connection between grounds and the claim. So warrant, connection between claim and evidence. For example, you say that Daniel is, let's say, I believe that DIA students are good students. And the grounds is that they spend 5 hours than the average college student do in their own college. So 5 hours. So what would be my warrant? I say you use 5 more hours to study per week. So you are good students. Yeah, you are a good student, right? So my warrant is a student who knows to allocate time for studying must be a good student. So you spend 5 more hours, so you are a good student. And because according to a research, students spending more hours for studies normally are good students. So this is the reasons between this link. So we say we have the grounds to support the claim. But basically, normally we will go here because of warrant, so the claim can stand true. So you can see over here, warrant is a connection between claim and evidence. And we need to have another part we call backing. Backing is here. Backing is to support for the warrant. Why you believe that the reason to connect grounds and claim is feasible? Why? Why? Because there is a backing here. So backing is used to support warrant. So let's see from now. Now we have 4 different components for the argumentation. That is, we start from the claim, and because we have the grounds, and because we have the warrant to support the claim. But when we say the warrant does not come out from nothing, because we have a certain backing to support the warrant. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you notice that everything we have so far is on our side, positive side? But sometimes as a writer, you have to foresee the possible argument, possible objections from the readers. So you want to figure out what would be the possible scenario that can nullify our claim, that can make our claim not so useful. So we need to identify the rebuttal. So rebuttal. We have another section, rebuttal, that is potential objection to the claim. So maybe we say, oh, this is so perfect, right? But look at here. We may have some rebuttal can use to undermine the validity or the feasibility of the warrant to support the claim. So we have to provide the positive arguments and also negative argument. So look here. Once you have the positive reasons and negative reasons, so we have to consider maybe our claim is not 100% correct. We have to take down a little bit. So that is why we have a qualifier, limits put on the claim. So over here we have a limit. Let's say, oh, whatever we say about the claim may not be 100%. So maybe, so very likely, or in general, you have to put a qualifier over there. So look here. This is the normal pattern, the logical flow of our argumentation when we write our paragraph or our essay. Every time it can apply to a paragraph, a section, or even a large scale of essay, and even your graduation paper. It's indeed, you must have some sort of claim first. And when you say this, you need to provide evidence. And the evidence does not just simply support your claim. You have to figure out the reasons. So here is the reasons. You must identify the reasons for that the ground can be used to support the claim. And the reasons must be substantiated by the backing. You have to find out the evidence to support your arguments. And also, you cannot just say everything on the positive side or everything is good. No, you have to figure out something is on the other side. So consider both positive, negative. So our claim must be modified a little bit. So we have a qualifier. So basically, this is the whole process when we say we are arguing. And this is the way for you to lay out your argumentation. So later we will talk about the relation between these 6 components in our real paragraph writing. And you will be amazed to find out that indeed, when we write out a paragraph, most of the time we will include the 6, may not be all 6, but basically the flow chart will be there. The logical flow will be shown in one paragraph if that paragraph is well written. So this is very useful. Okay, so basically what is the answer for this one? because of course all are true. It's just providing you to orient yourself to know the basic components of claim, grounds, warrant, backing, rebuttal, and qualifier. Okay, so now we have two other questions for you to practice a bit. Let's take a look about this one. So we have a sentence here. We have a statement here. After-school reports programs are bad for teenagers because they take away study time. So let's look at here. So here, what is they take away study time? And let's think about this one. This is our claim. We claim that after-school sports programs are bad for teenagers. No good, no good. Okay, so basically this is the claim, right? But why? Do you have the evidence? Give me the evidence. So here comes they take away study time. So this is the ground. Did you see that? This is the ground. So when I say to get a good score, you have to study hard. To get a good score, you have to study hard. So basically, when I say to get a good score, you have to study hard. You have to study hard is my claim. And what is my evidence? What is my ground? To get a better score. To get a better score. So you see, even in our daily conversation, we always follow this Toulmin model. You just don't know it. You will say something, for example, hey, let's have McDonald's for lunch today. And why? Well, because during the pandemic era, the food over there is healthy and sanitary. So this is ground. The food in McDonald's is sanitary, is healthy, and the claim, so we have to go to there for our lunch. So you see, every time we will use this model, and sometimes it's very simple, just with claim and ground, and sometimes just with claims. If the ground is so obvious, you don't have to say that. Okay, so basically these 6 components are useful for us to develop our argument. So let's move to number 5. Number 5, still we have one sentence here, one statement. Welfare benefits for unwed mothers should be retained in order to prevent poverty and hunger. So let's look here. Apparently, this is the claim. Welfare benefit for unwed mothers should be retained. We have to keep the welfare benefit for unwed mothers if they are pregnant, right? Okay, so what is the reason? So here, this is the claim. You can see this, right? So in order to prevent the poverty and hunger. So in order to prevent poverty and hunger is here. So what is welfare? What is this? This, of course, is the ground. Is the ground to support the claim, right? So what is welfare benefits for unwed mothers should be retained. Remember, this apparently is your opinion, right? Your opinion. And opinion, and you can call it is also a claim. Something you want to express. You state that you try to persuade other people. So you say, hey, guys, welfare benefits for unwed mothers should be retained. And your friends will ask you, why? And you say, okay, I give you the grounds. So it's to prevent poverty and hunger. Okay, so basically this is very straightforward and easy. That is, even in our daily conversation, we will use Toulmin argumentation model. But in serious academic writing, this one is very helpful for us to develop the structure of our paragraph and our essay. Okay, so this is the illustration for the answers of our quiz 11. Okay, now I'm going to give you the link for our lesson 11. And you can just go there and check it out. And for students not yet check your ID and your school ID and name here, please do so as soon as possible. And so I will know when you have reported here. So any other students not checking in? Okay, now get ready your lesson 11. We will take a short break for 10 minutes. Please come back at 9:45 and we can have ourselves a full time to discuss the context of lesson 11. So let's take a break now. Okay, let's resume our class. So just put your lesson 11 on your screen. So okay, we can follow down all the first one. So let's talk about lesson 11, and we are going to use this as the starter for us to learn and to know the relationship between the flow chart here and the paragraph here. Okay, it will be amazed to find out they are really very related to each other. So let's see about this one, starting from the first one. Did you see this? This is a claim. We have grounds, right? And we have a warrant to support the logical link. And we have a backing to support the warrant. And we have a rebuttal. Rebuttal, some opposition, some reason that may nullify the claim. So rebuttal and also a clarifier. So as you can see from here, we put this all together. And with sentences or words of here, this means actually when we write a paragraph, something like this, actually we follow our argument with the Toulmin argumentation model. So let's explain this to you one by one. The first one, claim. Claim says that San Francisco is a shoe-in for this year's Super Bowl. So basically, claim in a paragraph is actually the topic sentence. So let's see this one. San Francisco is a shoe-in for this year's Super Bowl. Did you notice the correlation between this and this, right? And normally, after you have your claim, you have to provide your reasons, your evidences, your support for the claim. So San Francisco has the strongest and best balanced combination of offensive and defensive squads in the professional leagues today, while all their chief rivals, Dallas, Miami, etc., are relatively weak in one squad or the other. So you can see there's a linkage, logical link between this one and this one. Do you see this one? It's used to support this grounds is used to support your claim. So let's see in the paragraph. The paragraph is very obvious. So let's see. The team has the strongest and the best balanced combination of offensive and defense squads in the professional leagues today, while all their chief rivals, Dallas, Miami, etc., are relatively weak in one squad or the other. So did you see the relationship between this one, and this one? So this is grounds. So we have a claim and follow with grounds. Is that right? So the next components of your writing should be to provide the warrants. So you see here is the warrant. Only a team that is really strong in both offense and defense can really be tipped on the Super Bowl. So here you see the writing. This coincides with the past records of phone book. This is the past records of the phone book because this is used to support warrant, right? So let's see this section appear over here. This coincides with the past records of the phone in the field of pro football. This is the warrant. Only a team that is really strong in both offense and defense can really be tipped for the Super Bowl. So you see, starting from here, this is the warrant, this is backing. Combined together is to provide a logical link between grounds and the claim. So let's see this one. This coincides with the past records of form in the field of pro football. Only a team that is really strong in both offense and defense can really be tipped for the Super Bowl. So here is our warrant and the backing. Okay, so now we have finished our argument, our warrant and the backing part. So starting from here to here, so we have something appear. This coincides with the past records of phone and to the end of the Super Bowl. Okay, so when we argue, we cannot only provide one side of argument. We have to foresee the possible opposition or possible reason that can make our claim nullified. So we have to think about this because you are a writer. You have the responsibility, right? So basically, the next step of consideration is to think about rebuttal. So rebuttal, there are 3 different reasons possibly can make the claim not so useful. So there are reasons unless San Francisco is plagued by injuries. There are a lot of injuries in the team. Or the other team do some quick and costly talent buying. They recruit a lot of new players and very powerful players. Or there's a general upset of the phone book. Or the record for the annual book is not correctly registered. So there are 3 reasons, right? So let's see how we can incorporate the segment into our rebuttal. Here you see, unless is rebuttal. Some unexpectedness do happen. Some. So we have a some, you see this dash and dash. So basically, San Francisco is plagued by injuries. This is number 1, rebuttal. The other teams do some quick and costly talent buying. This is number 2, rebuttal. Or there is a general upset of the phone book. Number 3, rebuttal, right? So basically, see, we provide reasons of possible rebuttals by including the 3 possible rebuttals here. So once we have this, then we have to consider, well, our claim is not 100% sure. So we need to put a qualifier. So unless this do happen, San Francisco will very likely, so this is the qualifier, top the game of the year. Top the game. So top the game, this is our conclusion, right? So we go back to reflect our claim. And here we need to add in a small qualifier, presumably. Presumably means that, well, very highly likely, but not necessarily sure. Okay, so you see, this is the whole structure. This is whole structure. Okay, and now I'll give you 5 minutes of the time to go through this process by yourself. Now, yes, you can do that. So be careful about this. It's not necessary to use the 6 components in complete way. No, it's not necessary. But sometimes you need to put a claim. Yes, definitely. Grounds. you can use a claim and the grounds to lay out your paragraph, or add in a warrant, or add in a backing. That would be good enough. Of course, you can include the rebuttal and qualifier, of course, just like this one. So let's move down to here. Do you see that? We do not have 6 components, but the rationale of argumentation still is Toulmin argumentation model. So look here, we have a claim here, right? And because of the claim, and we have the grounds here. So claim, grounds, and also we provide the warrants and the backing. So basically this can be a paragraph 2. So now I give you 10 minutes of the time to use the model and write your answer up here to create a paragraph by yourself. And later we'll compare notes. And now I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and you start to write. So after 10 minutes, we will compare the notes between you and me. It will be better for you to write your draft in your workbook and then post your answer over here. Okay, so let's do the exercise. You do yours and I will do mine. So later, after 10 minutes, we compare notes. Okay, so basically this is very straightforward. The sequence of your writing with something like this. You will start with your claim here, and it provides your grounds, and use your backing to support your warrant. If there is no backing, then this will be number 3, right? So the only thing we need to do to make this more smooth for us to read is just change it a little bit. So let's compare the different sections of the structure with what we.
Can you put the screen a little bigger?
I did, didn't I?
No, the words are fine.
Did I show the screen?
The screen is shared, but zoom it in.
How about this one? Do you see the screen right now?
Yes, we are seeing the screen, but we can barely see what you have there.
You have to adjust. You have to adjust your screen setting. Okay, you can use the screen to a full screen, so that would be much easier. Okay, so change your setup. Okay, I will continue. So basically, let's continue to talk about the structure here. So we have a claim, grounds, backing, and warrant. So let's see. First one, claim. The U.S. ought not to have intervened in the Vietnamese War. So basically, this is our topic sentence. Is that right? So the U.S. ought not to have intervened in the Vietnamese War. And what is the evidence? What are the supporting evidence here? So over here, number 2, we provide the grounds. We have 3 different grounds, right? And I just changed the writing a bit. So it was a civil war. Its income had little bearing on our national interests, and U.S. engagement. Oops, why should I should have 2 engagement? Okay, take this away. So the U.S. engagement in the war caused infraction and civil disorder at home. So did you see this? This reflects through the 3 different grounds, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I combine this into one sentence. It was a close. This is a close, and its outcome had little bearing on our national interests, another clause, and the U.S. engagement in the war caused infraction and civil disorder at home. So this is our grounds to support the claim. So this is claim, and this is grounds, right? Just like this one, claim and the grounds. And let's take a look at the other one. Number 3 and number 4, backing for the warrant. Warrant provides the connection between ground and the claim, right? So this backing. So as the general record of political experience and analysis shown correctly, this is the backing. Then warrant. If a war in a foreign country is a civil war with little bearing on our interests and our engagement adversely affects our situation at home, we should not intervene at all. So you can see this is warrant, right? So basically the section of backing and warrant is described here. So let's take a look. In this very, very tiny paragraph, the structure is still the same as the Toulmin model, just without rebuttal and qualifier. So we start with the claim and follow with the grounds and supported by backing and the warrants. So here, actually, we have accomplished another set of the argumentation model. And we use this model to write a paragraph, something like this. Okay? So I'll give you 2 minutes to compare notes, and later we will continue to the next chart. This chart is about ear treatment. Ear treatment means that you can see we have a little bit complete structure here. Of course, we have claim and the grounds, and we have warrant and backing, and we have a rebuttal here, and we have a qualify here, right? Okay, so now I'll give you another 6 minutes for you to accomplish this paragraph writing by yourself. Okay, so if we look at this one, and we found out that the structure of the Toulmin argumentation stands true to this paragraph. Although this is a very, in a way of the daily conversation of the whining and complaining or what, but still, the paragraph still follows the Toulmin argumentation model. So let's take a look. We have a claim, and we have a ground, and we do have the warrant and backing, and we identified the rebuttal and put a qualifier there, right? So this is complete structure. So let's try to compare the different section to see whether we can put this structure into this paragraph. And first, this is the topic sentence, right? Jim really treats Betty pretty unfairly and unconsiderably. So we put up here, really treats Betty pretty unfairly and considerably. This is one. And why you say so? Because this is the claim. As we can see, this is the claim, right? So basically, once you pop up claim, you state your claim in the topic sentence. Then you need to provide the grounds. So this is the grounds to support your claim. So let's see. The ground is here. So we have Jim habitually lives until okay, right? So Jim habitually leaves Betty at home, babysitting, while he goes drinking with his buddies. And he never even bothers to ask her if that is okay. So we see the segment of the ground is here. And we've put this followed with the claim. So here is the claim. And I'm sorry, here is the ground. But it's not sufficient for you in this paragraph. The author thought it would be necessary to provide more illustration by providing backing and warrants. So here is the backing and warrants. And backing is here. Given the present-day understanding of what the demands of equity in human relations require, so I revise a little bit to fit into the sentence. So as the present day understanding of what the demands of equity in human relations has required. A husband, this is warrant. Do you see this one? Here is the warrant. A husband has no business leaving his wife to spend all his evenings tied, or his wife or her refers to wife, and there's nothing wrong. Her is correct. Her evenings tied to the house, while he goes out without her. So look here. This is warrant. So these days, a husband has no business leaving his wife to spend his wife, evenly tied to the house while he goes out without her. So in this segment, starting from here to here, so this passage provides backing and warrant to connect grounds to claim. So we see it just followed. So let's denote the sequence of this passage here. 1, and this is 2, and this 3, and 4. Of course, the next process for us to do is to include 5, right? So number 5, unless they have some general mutually accepted understanding that nobody else has heard anything about. So over here we have the rebuttal, something exceptional, something that is of exception. So unless they have some general mutually accepted understanding that nobody else has heard anything about. So that's here, right? And then we'll follow on the face of it, on the face of this situation. So I put a little bit, June should treat his wife more fairly. So unless this happened, and with the qualifier, so I put a situation here, June should treat his wife more fairly. Okay, so this is the complete sentence, paragraph for the Toulmin model illustrated here. Okay, I'll give you another 2 minutes to go through the logical flow and try to, you may want to take a picture of this, is up to you. Okay, so let's take a look for this one. So pregnant athlete is not for competition. So although we do not have the C, G, W, B, and B, and what is this? And this is qualifier, of course, right? So let me put this for you first. This is a claim, of course, and this is the ground. Apparently, this is the warrant, and this is the backing for the warrant. And of course, this is rebuttal, right? And this is the backing for rebuttal. So backing can be used to support warrant, or backing can be used to support rebuttal. And this is qualifier. Yes, this is one kind of variation, but still, it is within the domain of a Toulmin model. So let's go through the different components passage of this chart and to develop the whole paragraph here. So first one, pregnant athletes must not participate in the pun competition. That's 2. Okay, so here we have, right? So this one apparently is the topic sentence. So pregnant athletes must not participate in the competition. So we have. And the second one is this one, the grounds. This means the secretion of the hormone progesterone in the 3rd month of the pregnancy increases the heartbeat and the aerobic capacity, causing the so-called natural doping effect. So this one focuses on this natural doping effect. Doping is kind of some medicine can boost your energy. So this is a doping effect. Okay, so over here, this one is the grounds. The grounds. But you have to suppose to explain why the doping effect matter. When we say doping effect, right? Why does this matter? Why? Why do we need to be careful about this doping effect? Why this is so unfair? So we need to provide backing and a warrant to support the link between ground and the claim. So this effect provides one athlete unfair advantage. So one athlete has unfair advantage, while athletes should have equal conditions, and the International Athletic Code prohibits use of doping. So you can see here, athletes should have equal condition, and the International Athletic Code that prohibits the use of doping. So all of these elements are included in this passage. So basically, this provides warrant plus backing. So you can see this effect provides one athlete unfair advantage, while athletes should have equal conditions, and the International Athletic Code prohibit use of doping. Is that right? And follow with the warrant and backing, we need to provide rebuttal. And rebuttal is divided into rebuttal and the backing. So let's see what is the components here. Unless natural differences between athletes already exist. We talk about age, what kind of differences? Age, weight, race, training conditions. So I rewrite it a bit by putting here. Of course, athletes do have their natural differences in their age, weight, race, and training conditions. Yes, we admit that. So this is rebuttal. So basically, we provide some reasons, some of the considerations that the readers may have. So saying that, okay, everyone is different, right? Their age, weight, race, and training conditions are different. So of course, athletes should have their natural differences, do have their natural differences in their age, weight, race, and their training conditions. Although I admit that we know this condition. So yet, this is the conclusion. We put a qualifier here by including the consideration of the rebuttal. So the last sentence to conclude is, yet with such doping effect, pregnant athletes definitely should not be in the competitions. So look here. This is the topic sentence, right? Starting from here to here. So pregnant athletes must not participate in the competition. And the conclusion, because of the doping effect, pregnant athletes definitely should not be in the competition. Okay, so this still follows the structure of the Toulmin model. So let's take a look about this one. So take a look. I'll give you another 2 minutes to compare your notes. So basically, the assignment for you for the lesson 11 is very useful for you to practice Toulmin model. So I want you to consider the use of Toulmin model and write another paragraph of your selected topic here. So far, you have an introductory paragraph, and also you have another paragraph. Of course, you need to combine them and later and change all the structure. Maybe you want to make them your writing more consistent and coherent. But now let's try to develop another paragraph by using Toulmin model. So basically, after you have written your paragraph, you have to dissect your paragraph into the 6 components of the Toulmin model. So you have to paste your claim here, and the grounds and the warrants here, and the backing, if any. If there is nothing, that would be fine. And the rebuttal, if any, and the qualifier, if any. So basically, after you have posted the 6 different components over here, then you have to upload your Word file of your paragraph here. So remember, you have to save your Word. I only accept Word documents, so don't use PDF. Only Word documents, and the Word documents must be saved in the name. EWIA lesson 11, your school ID and your name. Okay. So you must compile your paragraph with Word and EndNote. So I have to see you are using EndNote. Without the use of EndNote, your score will be cut at least in half. So remember, you have to learn this. And I want to encourage you, some of the students here who failed to submit your assignments for lesson 10. And once you lag behind, and you will find out you will be getting more difficult for you to catch up. And you have to hurry up and try your best. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. As a student, your primary responsibility is to study well and to fulfill all the assignments in class. Not only in my class, of course, but also in any kind of class. That is your responsibility. So if you fail to submit your lesson 10, and then it will be getting more difficult for you to continue your exercise. So look here, today you need to produce another paragraph by using Toulmin model, right? So it will be a good time for you to re-energize yourself, to boost yourself, to give you the so-called doping effect, right? So make yourself become a diligent student. So you have to, if you want to resubmit, if you want to submit your assignment for lesson 10, you will be welcome. You'll be welcome to do so. So just do that as soon as possible. I will check in and I will review your answers. Okay. So this is what we need to do for today. And the next 1 hour will just leave it to you, and you could write down your own paragraph. First, open your Word and start to write your Toulmin model-based paragraph. And copy and paste all the different components here and upload your file here. Okay, the due date for this assignment is Saturday, midnight. Remember, Saturday, midnight, not Sunday. Okay, so you have to post your answers here. Okay, any questions so far? Any question? So if not, if you want to stay here, you can. I will be here to wait for your questions. If you want to leave, that will be also fine. But I do hope that you can work on your own writing now. There is still 1 hour for you to accomplish your task. Okay, so 加油, everyone.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. And,
thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Okay, you may leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So anyone here, do you have any question?